Wow, you can really see the bullet delay. This 45, so slow. Oh man, I got him! What a shot! 139 meters with a grease gun. I had to lead so far.
Hey everyone, as always Jarek here, and I finally got around to playing Rising Storm 2. I did make that weapon showcase video, but I didn't actually play any matches, I just did that and then went back to the other projects I'm doing. I still have projects I need to finish. I will eventually finish Prey and that Doom 3 mod and then make further videos on that, but I wanted to talk about Rising Storm 2 as it's new, and I was not exactly entirely excited about it, but I was genuinely interested because I loved Red Orchestra 2, and I was concerned because I didn't really like Rising Storm. The first thing I should say is that Red Orchestra 2 is Red Orchestra 2. Rising Storm felt like an expansion to Red Orchestra 2. Rising Storm 2 feels like an entirely new game. It doesn't really feel like Red Orchestra 2, so if you're coming into this expecting another Red Orchestra 2, you'll be pretty disappointed. So come into it with an open mind, come into it expecting to learn. It still feels like a sequel to Red Orchestra 2, but it doesn't feel exactly like Red Orchestra 2, if that makes sense. And it does make sense, because all the weapons are different, the scenery is different, of course the game's going to play very differently. And with that in mind, I want to talk about the weapons in the game. For the most part, the teams are pretty well balanced. There is a lot of automatics in this game, which led a lot of people to being concerned about just spray and pray being the way to win, but that is definitely not the case. If you just try to even aim down sights and just spray at someone, most of those bullets are going to miss. Recoil is a thing, spread is a thing. It doesn't have a cone spread. Wherever your gun is pointed, that bullet's going to go, but since there's so much recoil, you're going to be spraying all around that person, and that person's probably going to turn around and only put like 1-2 bullets at you and kill you. So you really can't spray and pray unless they're right in your face, and even then, sometimes that fails. So if you're worried about it turning into a spray and pray type game, you don't really have to worry about that. With that said, there is one thing that I found a little bit strange, and it doesn't ruin the game at all. In fact, you probably won't even see it really impacting matches that much, but the Vietnamese obviously get different weapons than the Americans. And the two primary weapons you're going to be seeing probably the most is the AK variants that the Vietnamese have and the M16. In my experience, the M16 seems like a better weapon. Now, it's not broken. It just, with the way this game works, everyone dies very quickly. One shot to the head, one shot to the heart, that's going to kill no matter what gun you're using. Everything is very, very strong. And that's good. That's how it's supposed to be. It feels like realism mode in Red Orchestra 2. Guns are very, very strong, and it feels so satisfying after playing stuff like Battlefield, where it takes 5 full machine gun bullets to kill someone. I don't know why Battlefield decided the best approach for them is to make every gun weaker, but it drives me insane. And it feels so refreshing going to a game like this, where it only takes 1 to 2 shots to kill somebody, even with a pistol. I really do miss games like this. But like I was saying, I do feel the M16 is slightly better than the AK in this game. They both have advantages, but I think the M16, as well as being just an easier gun to use, simply has better advantages. And let me explain. So the M16, the obvious thing is that it has a lot less recoil. It's not necessarily that much more accurate, but it does have a faster bullet speed and the bullets don't drop quite as quick. And it still only takes 1, 2, 3 shots to kill someone with the M16. The AK is slightly stronger, but I mean, still, you die so quickly in this game, it really doesn't matter. The AK does have better penetrating power, so it is easier to shoot someone through cover with the AK, but it has so much more recoil. Think something similar to that of the AVT in Red Orchestra 2. It's kind of similar to that. I found the best way to use it is to tap fire it like it's either semi-automatic or fire 2-round bursts. The M16 in comparison has very little recoil. That said, you can't really spray with either of them. The M16 is just easier to use. And like I said, the AK does have the advantage of shooting people through cover easier, but I would much rather have the advantage of having less recoil and having a gun being easier to use, as well as a little bit easier to use at range. Because the AK bullets do drop faster and they don't move as quick. That's not to say it's impossible, and again, this doesn't really do a whole lot with balance. Either team can win, and it really doesn't matter that much, but in my experience, I would prefer the M16 in this game. One other subtle thing I did notice about the AK compared to the M16 is that you can get tagged with the M16 without having to bandage a lot more than the AK. If you get hit with the AK, you either need to bandage or you are dead. You rarely ever are going to get tagged like in the foot by the AK and not have to bandage. You're simply going to have to bandage. So that's the one really big advantage the AK has over the M16, but in my experience, again, I would prefer the M16. But aside from that, the guns are so, I mean, I've talked about it a lot, but they're so satisfying to use, and this is what you come to expect out of Tripwire. Guns to feel like guns, to feel satisfying, feel like they have an impact, to feel like they're actually going to do what they're made to do, unlike so many other games. So far, my biggest complaint about Rising Storm 2 is just that it's way too damn hard to tell who's on what team. I've had the same situation happen over and over again, where I've gotten the drop on someone, started shooting, and then stopped because I figured they were my teammate and I didn't want a team kill, only to have them turn around and kill me because they were actually an enemy and I just couldn't tell. Now this may sound like a noob complaint because if you played Red Orchestra 2 or Rising Storm, you've been killed by plenty of noobs on your team that couldn't tell the teams apart. But when it comes to Red Orchestra 2, you can tell the Germans and Russians apart. When it comes to Rising Storm, you can definitely tell the Japanese and Americans apart. When it comes to Rising Storm 2, everyone wears a similar colored green cargo pants, similar vests, and with the character customization, it makes it even more difficult to tell who's on what team. This is definitely the only thing that really got me frustrated in this game, just getting killed by people that I thought were on my team. I didn't really team kill people that much. If I did, that was legitimately an accident, but usually it was me looking at an enemy, having my sights over them, and then unscoping and just going, okay, it's my teammate, only to have them kill me, and that's probably the most frustrating experience I've had in this game so far. Let's talk game modes. There are 3 game modes in Rising Storm 2. The first one is obvious, Territories. It's the one that most people are going to be playing, and it's really just as fun as it always has been. The second one is interesting, Skirmish. It's a 16-player game mode that is meant to be more competitive, so it's more small scale and infantry focused. It's interesting that they added this in. I haven't really played it, but I'm going to give it a shot at one point or another. The third game mode is Supremacy, and I really want to talk about this one. On paper, it's similar to that of Conquest and Battlefield, but I feel like it's a lot more tedious. You end up doing more running than shooting or trying to cap objectives. And that's really just because of the spawn system, and I think just this one change would make this game mode a lot more fun. If you're on the American side, you can only either spawn in your home base, on a squad leader, or in a helicopter. The way the helicopters work is that someone obviously is piloting the helicopter and they can ferry you to anywhere on the map that they want. You don't have parachutes or anything, so once you're in that helicopter, you are committed to that helicopter. You're either going down with it or you're going to land and then get out of it. For the Vietnamese side, you can either spawn at your home base or you can spawn in a squad tunnel that your squad leader can build wherever he wants to. These are actually very effective, but that's really it. I think the one change they could make is just to let you spawn on objectives that you've already capped. Because, like I said, you end up doing more running to objectives than you do actually trying to shoot people, and it just becomes very tedious and a little annoying. But like I said earlier, most people are going to be playing Territories, and I don't know if this really matters too much because I, again, like everyone else, am just gonna go play Territories instead. And on the subject of Territories, it is... oh man, it's so much fun. I was having a lot of fun playing Territories in this game today, and it still has that great push-pull dynamic that it always has been. It still has that... man, I gotta build up tension. Like, all that tension that gets built up when you try to approach something, or when there's a big empty space in front of you and you don't see any enemies, but you don't want to go through that open space and you don't have smoke grenades. All of that's still there. All of that is great. And the gameplay, even though while it feels like an entirely different sequel and it doesn't feel like Red Orchestra 2, but it still kind of is Red Orchestra 2 if that makes sense, the gameplay is still very precision-oriented. It's not so much spray and pray. It's very much so if you look at an enemy and you aim down sights and you start shooting in full auto, you're going to miss. I said this earlier in the video, but it still rewards placement on the map, good strategy, and good aim. That is very much so what Rising Storm 2 is about, and it's really, really rewarding when you get 139 meters shot with a grease gun. Like, it feels so good when you do that. On the subject of grease gun and just the guns in general, man, the guns just feel so right in this game. Again, I've talked about this throughout this video, but it's just so satisfying. No one does guns like Tripwire does. By far the best guns out of any developer. But there are some of the guns that can be tweaked a little bit just so they could be a bit easier to use. For example, really small things like the grease gun or the Vietnamese SMG that I'm forgetting the name of at the moment. Their iron sights are awful. It's incredibly hard to see what you're shooting at. Now, I know why they are. They're keeping it as realistic as possible, but I wish there was just some sort of an option to even get rid of the sights and give me like PPSH sights or something like that. Let me see what I'm doing. It's really hard to see when you're using these sights, but I'm nitpicking at this point. As for the maps, they're kind of very hit and miss. Some of the maps are pretty CQB oriented where you know what cover is what, you got buildings all around you, and you generally know over there is not safe and this building is, for the most part, safe. I have a lot of fun on these maps. I've usually been pretty good at CQB type stuff. I'm usually more of an aggressive. I'm going to find a way to flank people, get behind them, and kill 5 people in a row that didn't know I was behind them. Like, that's my playstyle. So I like the maps that are more in like towns and villages and stuff like that. But there are, of course, this is Vietnam, so there is plenty of maps that are also in jungles, and I'm less of a fan of these maps because it turns into a lot of someone just hiding in a bush and you can't see him, and then you get shot by someone, you have no idea where he is, and then you gotta run all the way back to some other place to have the same thing happen again. Yeah, it really favors defensive play. And of course, like I said, map positioning and playing smart is how you were supposed to win this game. But it can also be very frustrating when you're on the receiving end of that. So that's more a personal preference thing. Do you like hiding in bushes and shooting people as they come along, or are you going to try to be a little bit more aggressive and try to push up? You know, you'll maybe favor one or the other, but there's something there for both players, and there are maps for both players. And I don't really hate any of the maps, and I can do quite well on pretty much all of them, but you really, really do need to change up your strategy and your tactics when you're going from one map to another. But overall, my first impressions of this game are very good. I'm pleasantly surprised because I wasn't sure what to expect, as I didn't like Rising Storm 1, and I was a little concerned, but I was cautiously optimistic about Rising Storm 2, and so far I've just had a lot of fun. It's still a love it or hate it game. You may have one game where you just get destroyed and it's nothing but frustrating because you can't see where the enemies are, and you walk out, you die, you walk out, you die. But then you have other games where you find that you get put into this trench and the whole team is rushing on you, and you somehow manage to take out 20 of them before someone finally either lobs a grenade in or gets that shot on you, or you get sniped from someone entirely somewhere else. It's like I said, it's love or hate it, because those situations are just so fun, but then you get other situations where it can be infuriating, and I mean, that's part of the charm of these types of games, and I certainly am not complaining about it. But as a whole, if you were looking at this game, yeah, I would tell you to get it. I would absolutely not shy you away from this game. I'm, again, having a lot of fun with Rising Storm 2. I played it for about 4 or 5 hours earlier today. Had some great games, had some bad games, so like I said, it depends. But if you want to get it, go ahead and get it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, favorite, comment, subscribe, and continue watching, because I have a lot of live commentary and just some clips that I felt like putting together. If you really enjoy my content, be sure to check out my Patreon. Any donations really help. The YouTube ad situation has not put me in a favorable financial situation, so really anything you can help is a huge benefit to me. It also ensures I'm going to continue posting content. So enjoy the rest of this video, and I will see you guys next time.
Ooh, someone off to the right.
Oh, yeah, our squad tunnel just goofed.
Yeah, because they took the point.
I got the guy on the right, by the way.
Thank you.
There's another one, far right, I think. Thought I saw movement.
Reported.
I'm gonna put another trap down. Oh.
Reported.
Oh crap, they got smoke.
Yeah, they got smoke literally on us. Man, you gotta do like 1-2 taps with this AK. You really can't do like through embers. Okay, that's smoke.
They're pushing up hard right.
They're pushing up left too.
We're all fucked. How close is it? 25 meters! Grenade! Oh. We might want to get out. Yeah, artillery.
I'm pretty fucked here, even if we back up. Yeah. Oh, grenade killed me out of that, so I keep getting surprised. Oh my god, click! Please don't turn around. Smack. Yes, give me your gun. Damn!
Oh.
Scout, reported. Foxroy is being attacked.
Yeah.
They're all pushing into this objective next to us.
Enemy is running out of time.
Holy shit. I got 2 kills with that one grenade.
Out of time, GI. can now.
Shit.
Did I get him? Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Foxhole is being attacked.
Oh god, oh god, oh god, please don't see me. I'm hitting the fucking floor in front of me.
Foxhole is being attacked. Foxhole is being attacked.
I'm actually holding off this building with a Mosin Nagant.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, Commander, please. Lay down some fucking fire or something.
Is that ours?
It's right in front of that.
Yeah, it's no, it's in a good spot.
E5. E5. I think that's... Yeah, that's my point. Nice.
It's in a really good spot.
Oh, all the points.
Holy shit. With where I am right now, I'm surprised no one has seen me. Is that theirs? I think that's theirs.
Scout, report in.
Oh, all right side. All right side. Someone sees me. I'm moving out of here.
10 seconds. And I spawn in 10 seconds.
Foxhole is being attacked.
Oh, so I'm gonna go for overtime.
How are you alive?
Time's running out. Hold objective to win.
Oh shit, we have no... barely any tickets left.
Oh my god. How do they not know I'm here? I'm on the point in the second floor. Oh, they finally saw me. I wish I actually had, man, I swapped off an AK at the worst time possible.
Capture an objective now.
Oh shit.
And we're fucked.
Well, I'm just gonna get into G and just try to hold off there.
Yeah, I died. And we have no more reinforcements. Earth.
That's really our only hope right now.
Okay.
Against 60 enemy reinforcements, this is gonna go real well.
I'm begging to be sniped right now. Whoa!
Yeah, you're the only one left alive in the squad.
Yeah, they really don't like me. Yeah. How am I alive? All this fire. Nope. I'm gonna get shot through this wall.
Last stand. Don't surrender.
Ah, a grenade out of all of that. How did a grenade even get me up there? Wow, what's our teammate doing way out here? Oh, it's our sniper. Okay.
Of course.
That's the only one alive.
Oh wait, no. We got 2 snipers alive.
Nice. You know there's a problem with your team when
Oh my
the
God.
people with the most amount of kills in the game...
It's the final
It's
objective.
the final objective.
Do something interesting. Do something
Do
productive.
something productive.
We have been defeated.
Oh my god, your trap killed someone.
Did it?
Yeah. It was the last kill.
You know, there's a problem when the people with the most amount of kills on your team have almost the same amount of kills as your commander.
Yeah.
Like, where are these markers being placed? Why isn't the commander doing more artillery? Kill 100 enemy infantry. Wow, I got that pretty quick for the first day playing.